we want to do analysis, it is convenient method for proceed with is the symmetrical component, to find the symmetrical component of that unbalanced. And we have found that we can decompose the unbalanced with three symmetrical component. One is called the positive sequence, then the negative sequence, and the zero sequence. And we have derived the formula for that one, that what is the relation between the symmetrical component and the unsymmetrical component. So we will use that formula and to find out the symmetrical component. So here, this is an example given. You are given unbalanced voltage component, unbalanced voltage, three-phase voltage, and we need to find out positive, negative, and zero sequence component from this one. Anybody has tried this one? The solution is given. Anybody has tried?
No.
So let us open my, you need to participate in the class.
Hello, can you see me?
Yeah.
Yep.
So have you tried this one?
I tried Shafiq, but it was I couldn't replicate what was there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. At least you have
didn't
tried.
work.
That's the good thing. So now we will try to solve together.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let me just open. Where did I finish? Where? I shared the note, right, in the last class? Last lecture?
Yeah.
Let me check. So let us just write down the problem, or I can write down this one later. So we'll move to other device where I can do the problem. Okay, so yeah, so we end up with this formula. And if you want to derive this one, this is not that difficult, but I think it's fine if I just know the formula. So on this one, here the symbol, I think you remember that this one indicates here these three component.
Hey, Shafiq, you've just gone really quiet.
Really? This is the problem with my microphone. Sometimes my mic becomes quiet, sometimes my headphone. Can you hear me now? Is it good?
That's a bit better, yeah.
Yeah, this might be because my mouthpiece, my headphone is headphone is not working, so I'm using the speaker of my laptop and my mouthpiece from the headphone. So that might be the reason. Okay, if I am too low in volume, just let me know. So what we have done in the last class, we have derived the formula, and just to clarify that here on the left hand side, these components are the phase component, actual phase component that is unbalanced due to fault. So this is the A, B, and C here indicates the phase A, B, C, or the RYB, whatever we usually use. So on the right hand side, this is the symmetrical component. That means this VA, that is phase voltage of A, that is decomposed into three components. Positive zero sequence component is identified at VA0. Then A1 is the positive sequence component and A2 is the negative sequence component. That means this formula here, this three relation is actually relating the phase voltage with three symmetrical component. So three symmetric, each of the phase voltage is expressed in terms of symmetrical components. Now, in the bottom here, this is done in the other way. That means each of the symmetrical component is calculated. On the left-hand side are the symmetrical components from any unbalanced system voltage or phase voltages. And the left-hand side are the symmetrical component, and the right-hand side is the phase voltage, respective phase voltage. That means the symmetrical component, zero sequence symmetrical component is represented or expressed in terms of three voltages, three unbalanced voltages. Okay, so these are the formula we will be using to do that problem. So let me just write down the problem and then we will try to find. So here we are given the voltage VA is given equal to 176 minus J132 volt. So we have started with the discussion that this is what type of representation. You should be able to identify what is the representation.
Rectangular.
Rectangular, very good. So at least we identify something. So VB is given by minus 128 minus J96 volt, and VC is equal to minus 160 plus J100. So now I need to convert this one into symmetrical component. That means I need to find out VA0, BV0, and VC0, and VA1, VB1, and VC1, and this is B1, C1, C0, so this is 0, VC1, so this VC2, right? So these are the three components we need to find out. Do I need to find all these 9 components, 9 values? Can anybody tell? Do I need to find out? So this is related to zero sequence. This is the positive, so this one, VA1. So I have mixed up, so I will just make the correction. So this is zero sequence. Let us write down in this way. Yeah. So I have mixed up all. So this one is fine. So so this is B0, V1, or V0, what I did, A0, A1, sorry, this one would be A1, and this is C1, right? And then this is A2, just I have written in the other way, mixed up with 2, so C2. So this one becomes my positive sequence. Now all the component positive, and this one is negative sequence, right? Now, do I need to calculate all these 9 components?
No,
No. How many do I need to calculate?
I think on the 0 sequence, if we get 1, we know all 3 we can.
Yes.
they're
So that
equal.
means from each of these, I need to calculate 1, right? 1 from here, 1 from here, and 1 from here. Because they are symmetrical. So if I know 1, then next one will be 120-degree apart. So the only the phase angle will be changing because all the components are symmetrical. From the unsymmetrical, unbalanced system, we are finding out the symmetrical component. So we will use this formula. So formula you don't need to memorize, but you need to utilize how you can utilize. So in exam, also in practical life, you don't need to memorize. If you memorize, that's good. That's plus point. You don't need to look at your formula from the book or from your formula sheet, but that is not actually what we want. Okay, so we will use this formula and then try to find out the values. So I will write down the first one, VA naught, and that is given by 1/3 VA plus BB plus VC. Right, this is straightforward. You don't need to do anything. We have just 3 components. Rectangular components are given, and rectangular components are good to do the calculation, right? So we are good to go without doing anything. Just we need to write down the values. So 1/3. We'll take the help. So it is 176 minus J132 plus is minus 128 and 128 minus J96, and then the last one is 160 plus J100, right? So you can do this calculation is 1/3. Can you help me finding out the values? So what I will do, I will add all J component and write down together. So 132 minus plus 100 is 32. 32 plus 96 is 128. Is that correct? It's minus J 128. 96 plus 32 is 128, right? 128. Are you following?
So you're just adding all the terms. So 1J1 minus 132 minus
J132 minus 96 and plus 100. So we will add all the. Are you following or any difficulties? This is straightforward. So that's why.
Yeah.
So it should be 132. That is minus. So we will use minus sign. Minus. Then minus 96 and plus 100, right? That is what we have.
yeah, yep.
So that is 128. All right.
Yep.
And then I have to do the other part, the real part that has to be separated. So that is 176. 176. Then I have to subtract 128. And then I have to subtract 160, right? So I have to, this is plus, this one is minus, and this one is minus. So I have 2 minus, and that will
That's
give me
112.
minus of 120, 1 on 2.
Two.
Okay?
Sorry, with the J,
Yep.
it's minus J132 minus J96, which comes to negative J224, and then you've got plus J100.
228.
Yep.
Yeah.
224, 130. Oh, sorry, no, I take it back.
96.
Yeah, you're right. I got pressed the wrong button on my
Yeah.
calculator. All good.
Yeah, I might be doing wrong because it's always better to check me. Okay, so now you just need to divide by 3. So if I divide 112 divided by 3 is 37.3. That is minus.
Yep.
And minus J is, I think this is another fraction, 128 divided by 3. You can just keep it as it is. It's fine. So 42.67. Okay.
Yep.
Now at this point, you don't need to do anything. You can keep it as it is. And this is definitely volt. But you can also convert it to polar form. And I am not sure whether I have mentioned to you, you need to use your calculator to do this change from rectangular to polar, because in the next calculation, you will find out that you need to change these, you need to have learned this conversion from rectangular to polar, because you need to do the multiplication and the addition. And whenever you are doing addition, you need to convert it to rectangular. And whenever you do multiplication, you have to convert it to polar. So you need to use your calculator. So have you all collected a calculator, scientific calculator?
Yeah, I've got to keep it's got to find the instruction forms. I'll have a look online. It's actually
Online means from us, right?
no, just just that used to come with the packaging. Yeah, it shows you how to use your trigonometry functions and your
Yeah, you can
rectangular column.
collect one with the minimum simple scientific calculator, no programmable. I usually don't prefer to allow you with any kind of sophisticated calculation, because you need to learn all these things by yourself. So if your calculator can do many things, then you will not be able to learn those things. So at this point, simple scientific calculator you need to use. And then if you learn all those things, then you can use any kind of calculator. Simple standard scientific calculator you can use.
Right, I've just found the function of the circle. Work it.
I think for this course is concerned, we will not do many things, only the conversion from polar to rectangular, rectangular to polar is all this kind of calculation you will require. Okay, so the next one is a little bit tricky in the sense that you need to do the conversion from polar to rectangular. And if you don't find your calculator, how to operate your calculator, probably it will be available online. You will find out some kind of manual. But if you don't find the manual, you can send me the model. Then I will try to find out how you can do this, because I am not using for many days this kind of calculation. I am just doing in the different way using MATLAB or anything, but I can find it out for you. So the next one is finding out VA. So we have found V0, and here we can find out the angle is given from this calculation. This rectangular form is giving you with the angles. So we can find out the vector and the angle. So you can draw the rectangular form, draw the phasor diagram. So we need also learn how to draw the phasor diagram. So if we know VA0, then you can find out, because this one is actually, you don't need the phasor, because all of them, VA0, VB0 and VC0 will be the same. So I can just write down this one, VB0 will be the same value as this one, because they have no phasor angle difference that we have learned in the last class. So this will be the same, no change with the angle or anything. Then VC0 will be also same, minus 37.3 minus J42.67. All three components will have same values. Now VA1, if we take a look of the formula, you will find out this formula tells is 1/3, then VA plus that alpha square is coming into act, then VB plus alpha VC. Now here alpha, we have to remember this alpha is 1 at an angle of 120 degree. So this is actually giving a phase shift of 120 degree.
Yep.
Now we need to do this multiplication. So 1/3, now we have to write down this value. Okay, I can copy from. So it would be, I will use another bracket here, 176 minus J132. So nothing is multiplied. Then this one is alpha. So I will write 1 at an angle of 120. And that square. So that means I can multiply twice. 1 at an angle of 120 degree. And then I have to write down BB. BB is equal to minus 128 minus J96. Okay, and that's it for the second term. The last term is 1, making an angle of 120 degree, and that will be multiplied with the third quantity, that is minus 160 plus J100. Okay, so that's the, or I can use the third bracket here. Okay, is this clear?
Yeah. So
yeah, so then we need to do the calculation, and I think I need help from some of you. So from this one, at the end, I need to do the addition. I will not change anything. I will keep as it is, 176 minus J132. Now here, I need to do the multiplication first. So in this term, I have to do the multiplication of these three quantities. So what I will do, I will convert this one first. I will write down 1 at an angle of, so this multiplication will give you 1 at an angle of 240.
Yep.
Yep.
And then this one will be multiplied with this one. As I need to do the multiplication, I can convert this one. So I will convert this one. This particular term has to be multiplied with this quantity, so that I will convert it to polar form. Can anybody help me how to find out the polar form? What is the value of the polar form?
160 angle 1 minus 143.1.
160 is a positive, right?
Yep.
160 angle of
Minus 143.1.
143.1. Okay. Similarly, I will do the same for the last quantity. So this will be 1 at an angle of 120. And then this will be multiplied. Then the last quantity, what is the phasor, the polar form of this one?
188.7.
188.7.
Angle 148.
148 plus, right?
Yep.
Okay, very good. So those who are not capable of doing this, you just need to learn how to use the calculator. So it would be 1/3, we'll write down again. Then it would be 176 minus J132 plus, then we'll multiply this quantity with this quantity, that will give 160. And then what is the angle? Is 240 minus 143. It would be 96.9.
Yep.
And that will be plus. And then I have this one will be multiplied with this one. That will give me 188.7. And the angle is 268, right?
Yep.
Now we need to do the addition. And in order to do the addition, so I will use third bracket here. So 1, 3, and then 176, we will not do anything, 132. Now this one has to be converted back to rectangular form. So can you help me?
Minus 19.22.
Sorry, I need to delete this one. Minus 90.
19.22
19.22
plus J158.8.
J158.8.
8.8.
And similarly, I have to convert this one. And that would be
8.7. 68. Minus 6.5.
So I need to minus 6.6.
You can say 6.6. Yep.
And then
Minus 188.
J188, right?
0.6.
0.6. Okay, so if you add now, you add all the real terms and the imaginary.
Is it 1/3 bracket 150.18 minus J
Sorry.
161.8?
Somehow, can you see me? Other device, I think, disconnected. Yeah,
Oh,
now I'm
can
back.
you hear me?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. I need to share this screen. Okay, and then, yeah. Yep. So what is the value? Is
150.18 minus
150.18
minus J161.8.
160
1.
161.8.
Yeah, 161.8.
And if you divide with 1/3,
Okay, so you got 50.06.
50.1. I think I have done the other one. J then
Minus
53.
50 with J minus 53.1.
53.9. Okay, I think I have done the other one, the formula. Instead of A1, it should be A2. This is the formula. So I think it's that I have written the wrong formula. Yeah, I have written this formula.
Yeah.
So alpha square and alpha. So that gives me A2 actually instead of A1. So this is A2. Okay. So this is my A2, and then we can convert it back to polar form. Why? Just I will tell you later. So can we convert it back to polar form? Can anybody help me?
Yep, we're busy. Uh, 73.6.
73.6
Angle is minus 47.1.
minus 47.1. Okay, so this is this. So this is why I have done this in order to find out BB1. So this one would be, so this one is A2, right? BB2 is the negative sequence. So negative sequence will be 120 degree. If you remember, we have positive sequence is BA1. Then we have 120 degree shift is BB1. And then 120 degree is BC1. So this is positive 120 we can consider, and this one is negative 120. So this is the positive sequence. But we have calculated the negative sequence. Negative sequence B1 and C1 will be changed, interchanged. So I will have BA2, then this one would be BC1, that is minus 120 degree. And this one would be BB1, sorry, BB2. So these are all 2. So this will be 120 degree, okay? So that means if I want to derive from BB2 from BB1, then I need to write down 73.6, making an angle of 47.7. And this one is shifting by 120, that I will write. This is alpha 120. So if you do this multiplication, then we will have 73.6, and this angle will become, so 120 minus 47.7, that will give 0.3, then 8 would be 2, and then 72, I think. And that would be, yeah.
72.3.
72 is correct?
0.3, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So then you can, so this one is not C1, this is continuation. So this one now you can convert back to rectangular form, or you can keep it as it is. Okay, so whenever we want to derive from one symmetrical component A2 to B2, then I don't need to calculate all these steps. I just need to multiply with the angle. We need to understand this phasor diagram. Whenever is a negative sequence, I have A2, then is not is a negative sequence, so it would be A2, C2, and B2. Or I have to rotate in the counterclockwise direction, then I will have A2, B2, C2. In positive sequence, I have to go in the clockwise direction, then I will find out A1, B1, and C1. So only I need to know this one. So similarly, I can find out A, C2, B, C2, and that would be equal to BA1, and that will make an angle of, that has to be multiplied with 1. This is negative minus 120, so it would be minus 120. Or I can do this one minus 120, I can write down instead of minus 120. So 1 minus 120 is equal to 1 plus 240, the same. So minus alpha and alpha square are equal. So this will be the same. So I have to multiply again here. 73.6 minus 43. So I think you can do this calculation. 73.6 angle of 47.7, that is minus, and that has to be multiplied with 1 minus 120.
Oh, so we are using VA2, not VA1. You wrote VA1.
Oh, sorry, this is A2. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's A2. So similar component. So not from the positive sequence, you cannot find out the negative sequence. Okay, so if you do this calculation, then you can find out this C2. Now you can do the other calculation. Let me give it, this is your task. So we need to find out VA1, that is only left, and that is equal to 1/3. And that is the formula is from here, we have to take this formula. So the formula is this one. So alpha first and then alpha square. So we need to find out, we need to write down VA plus alpha VB plus alpha square VC. Okay, do this calculation.
Can you take us back to the voltages?
I can show you the voltages. So where is the voltage? Here.
I think it's
Was that black?
there. Yes, correct. There.
So I'll give 10 minutes to do this. This is a practice.
ABC. J100. Gotcha.
We are calculating VA1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the screen, the voltage VA, VV, VC is given. So you need to find out VA1. If you don't know the formula, I can just write down the formula here on the top. So VA1 is equal to 1/3 VA plus alpha VV plus alpha VC, alpha square VC.
Let's see.
So we have to remember alpha is equal to 1 at an angle of 120, and alpha square we can directly write 1 at an angle of 240. So this formula, this alpha value, I might not give you in the exam. So you have to keep in mind alpha is like I. I is producing 90 degrees, so alpha will be producing 120 degrees.
Mm, yeah.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay, so do I need to do this part? Anybody thinks I need to do it? Or you can do it. You have already done it. If anybody wants that I need to do it, I will do it, definitely. But I think this one is similar to the previous one. You can do it, right?
Yeah, please.
Could
can
you just
go-
work through it for us?
Yeah, just go through it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
a bit hard. I haven't got the function
Yeah,
on the
that's
calculator.
fine. So V1, so we'll use the formula and then we'll just write down this formula and carry out the calculations. And I think some of you will help me. So this is A1, and that is given by 1/3, and then VA plus alpha BB plus alpha square VC. So I will just plug the values. 1/3 VA is 176 minus J 132, then plus 1 angle of 120, and BV. Can I write down can somebody tell me the polar form of this one?
160
160 angle of
minus 143.1.
153
143.
43.1, and then this is 1 angle of 240, and this will be, what is the polar form?
188.7.
188.7.
Angle 148.
148
Yeah.
point 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, 0.0. Sorry, just
0.0. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so those who didn't follow where this comes from, this one is just converting. I have just converted rectangular to polar form. This is because we need to do it because of this multiplication. So both this one and this one is actually this value, but in polar form. Okay, then we'll do the calculation now. 1/3 and then 176. We will not change anything. 132 plus this one will remain 160 because I'm multiplying this one. Let me take black. So this one with this one. So that give 160, and then this angle, I will take a different color. So this angle is, this one is plus and this one is minus. So I have to write down 120 minus 143.1. So this is the angle for this quantity. Then plus, and then I have to multiply this one, will be multiplied with this one. So 1 will be multiplied, will give you the same value. So it would be 188.7, and the angle, again, we will add this one and this one. So it is 240 degree plus 148.0. Okay.
Yeah.
So that will give me 1/3, then 176 minus 132 plus 160. Sorry, this is not angle. So then the angle is 120 minus 43, that means minus 23.1. And then this one would be 188.7, and that will be 240 plus 148. That will give me 380, 8, right?
Yeah,
388.0. So I can reduce because I know that the maximum angle that can be 360, right? So I have 360, 388 means one rotation, one complete rotation plus an angle. So I can just subtract 360 and then write down 28, or we can just keep it as it is. So there is no harm. So we can just replace this one minus 360. So that will be the angle. So I will have 1/3 and then 176 minus 132J. I missed J here. And then I have to convert this one again into rectangular form. Can somebody help me?
I need to stick manual. I haven't got
161.7
161.7
minus J 8.2.
8.2. And
Yes.
then this one 188.
I'm having a problem there because if we use 388 directly without subtracting 360, I'm getting different values for the
Okay.
rectangular form.
So what is the value you're getting? Let me just write down.
So if we use 28, that's the difference there. We get 166.6
166.6
plus J 88.6
plus J
88.6.
88.6. And if you are using 28, what is the value?
Oh, that's for, okay, just let's use 28 now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's the same. It is the same. I think I made a mistake somewhere when I
Okay,
used
it should be the same value
yes,
because
yes,
that should not be a
it
problem.
came out the same. So yeah, it's 80. Yeah, it's the same. It's all good. All good.
Okay, yeah. So can you just add now and help me?
Yep. Yeah. So I think the answer I wrote there is wrong because for some reason it was
176 plus
61.7 plus 166.6. It's 504.3.
Yep.
504.3.
Yep.
Yeah, that is okay. Then the last one, the J term.
J minus 51.6.
I think there is some calculation mistake. So J term, what is the J term?
The
51.
second part, which was 160 at an angle of 23.13 or negative 23.13.
Yeah.
If 160 is your hypotenuse, how does it get longer?
Yeah, so I think there is something wrong here. Let me just check quickly. So I will use 160 cos of 23. 23.23. Anybody else has done this one? 23.1. Then cos and multiplied by 160. Yeah, it is 147 something. Yeah. So this one is 147 I can find.
Yeah, I got 147.14 and negative J negative J 62.85.
47.17 negative J
14.
14.
Yep. 147.14 and then minus J 62.85 is what I calculated.
Yeah, minus 62.62
0.85.
85. Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
this one is correct.
Yeah, I used the wrong function there.
Yeah, so I think this one is fine. This one is the next one is correct.
Yeah, I believe so. I got the same answers to that next part.
Okay, yeah. Looks. Yeah, so then if you do this calculation, what is the changing? What is the change?
Yeah,
I need to check all the calculation again. So what is the correct? Can you add this?
Six, 2, 7,
Oh, okay.
7.
1, 4, 7, 7. Six. So 489.
Don't give up. 176. That's
So 407,
147.17
77, something like that.
plus 166.66. So if I divide by 3, that will be 163. So I am dividing by 3. One more steps. So 163.28. And
Yeah.
if I do the J part, it is minus 132 minus, then minus 62.85 and plus 88.6. So divided by 3.
I got minus 85.4.
I did mistake.
So 162. Oh, what did you? 163. 162. 509.
I got
35, yeah, I
163.24.
got correct. It's
And
35.10.
Yeah, 35.4.
Yeah.
0.42, yeah.
All happy?
Yeah.
You got 163, I got 162. Right. I don't know what we're having here.
Okay,
Right.
so this one is correct. So now you can find out A1, B1, and C1, right? You just need to convert it to the polar and then use the phasor diagram and do the calculation. Do you want to do it by yourself? So that will give you more confidence in doing the calculation. So we want to find out B1 and BC1. Take 10 minutes time, do this calculation. All of you.
Okay, so Gotcha. See. Here we go.
Okay, guys, so have we done it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there should not be any problem. Do I need to do those?
Yeah, just to check.
Okay, yeah. So help me to find out the polar form of A1. So polar form will be, what is the value?
167
167,
angle 12.1.
12.1.
12.1, yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is all of you have got the same value? I'm assuming is fine.
I got 12.2, but
12.2 is same. Is point. As long as the full number is fine, that should be fine. So we need to find out then BB1, and that would be equal to, and if you remember the phasor diagram, we need to remember the phasor diagram. So that is, this is A2 is minus, B1 is minus 120 or plus 240. So both are correct. So you can take this one as 167 at an angle of 12.1, and that has to be multiplied with 240. So if you do this, that will be 167, making an angle of 252.1. So if you convert it to rectangular form, that would be I'm waiting for your response. I don't have the calculator here, so I am not calculating. Anybody has done the calculation? If you keep up to this, that's fine. Up to this is correct? It should be, right? There is no difficulty with this one. Then you just need to convert it to rectangular form. So VC1 would be equal to 167 points at an angle of 12.1, and that has to be multiplied with 1, and it is making only 120, so it is 120 degree. So this will be 167 at an angle of 132.1. So if we keep up to this, that's fine. But if you want to convert it rectangular, you can do this. Okay, so that's all right. Now we will do the next one. There is no problem with this one, right? All of you are happy?
Should that have been a negative value for the original answer to polar? If it was
yeah, it
167
was
negative 12.1?
12.1. Yeah, that's what I got too. I was just trying to work it out. I was like, have I
Negative
done something wrong?
12.9. You are talking about 167.
Negative 12.1, not 12.1. Which will change the other results.
Yeah, so if this one is negative, that will change the other result. So you want me to do it, right?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, if you convert it,
Yeah, let me just
rectangular,
check.
so
Let me just check. It should. Yeah, looks like it will be negative. Because tan inverse is 1 is negative, so it should be negative value. That my feeling is 35.1 divided by 163.28, and then it should be tan inverse. Second tan inverse. No, it's giving me positive 12.1. Yeah.
Sweet. I must have got something
Yeah,
wrong.
that's fine. I think you can check the calculation, because we can do the simple if you cannot use the polar to rectangular, then we can use simple trigonometrical equation. So this is 163.28 and this one is actually negative. So this one is negative, so that will give me in this direction minus 35.10, and then this is the angle we are getting, theta. So tan
Which would be
inverse.
negative.
You can that looks
That's a
like
negative
negative,
angle.
yeah. That
I'm
looks
getting
like,
a negative.
but in the calculator it is giving you positive.
And my calculator gives me a negative 12.2.
Yeah, I get a negative 12.2 through the calculator as well.
Yeah, it looks like that was my feeling, that it should be negative value because it's giving in the clockwise direction. Let me check it. I think I have not given, yeah, I think I have missed this negative value. Yeah, 163.28 is not, and
It's negative.
yeah, so it looks like it's negative. Yeah, let me check.
It's negative.
Second, tan inverse. Yeah, negative. Yeah, it looks like negative. Yeah, so it would be negative here. And then this one would become equal to, it's not, it would be 137, not 27.9. And this one would be also negative. And this will be giving me 107, right?
VB is only one angle of 120, no? You just did the negative sequence.
No, we are doing the positive sequence. You remember we have done the negative sequence earlier.
Isn't it positive?
This is the
Oh,
positive sequence. So positive sequence, if you do positive sequence, yeah, I might be wrong. So if you do positive sequence, that's good to have a discussion. So this is BA1, and then I will have BB1, and then I will have VC1, right? So VC1 is making positive 120 degree. And this one is negative 120, but positive 240. So if I want to find out from VA1, if I find out BB1, then I have to multiply VB1 is equal to BA1. Then I have to multiply with 1 alpha from here to here. So from here to here, that is 1 alpha. Then I have to go 1 more alpha from here to here. So that means I have to multiply with another alpha. So that will give me, if I multiply with 2 alpha, then VA1, that will be 1 at an angle of 240. So I think I have done this one. So this is 240. All right. All right.